In this video, I'm going to explain to you what ISO means. So let's get right into it. Hey, what's up? It's Chris from Brooker Films, and in today's video, we're talking all about ISO. Now, ISO is one of those basic camera settings that you'll find on a digital SLR and most pro cameras. But what is ISO? Well, basically, ISO is the camera's sensitivity to light, and different cameras have different levels of sensitivity. Now, typically when we're talking all about ISO, you'll see numbers associated with the word ISO. So you'll see ISO 100, ISO 200, ISO 800, 6400, and these numbers basically correspond to the brightness of the shot. So the lower the number, the darker the shot is going to be. So for example, if you are filming in the middle of a very bright, beautiful sunny day, you would want to set your ISO to the lowest possible number, which is typically 100. So the ISO would be ISO 100. Doing this will ensure that your shot does not overexpose. But if we were filming in the middle of the night and there was limited to no light available, then you would want to crank your ISO up to a much higher number. Now, some cameras deal with ISO very well, like the Sony a7S. The Sony a7S is an incredible low light camera because you can boost the ISO all the way up above 10,000, meaning if you're shooting in an environment where there's little to no light, you can boost the shot and actually end up seeing more through the camera than you can do with your own eyes. But unfortunately, most cameras are not this sensitive to low light. So each and every camera has a different base ISO, and a base ISO is the point in the ISO where you have the cleanest possible image. If you boost an image too far, if you boost the ISO to a really high number, in most cameras, you're going to see lots and lots of digital noise. Digital noise is that horrible grainy effect that you get on your footage when you're filming in a low light environment. And this is because you've boosted the ISO way too high. In order to capture the cleanest possible image, you want to have your ISO as low as you physically can. So keeping your ISO as close to 100 will ensure that your image or your video is super clean and clear. Look at these two examples on screen now. The first image was shot at ISO 100 and the second image was shot at ISO 6400. Now in this first example, I pulled down the aperture and I pulled down the shutter speed to let more light into the camera, and this meant that I could keep the ISO as low as possible. But in the second example, I kept the aperture quite high and I kept the shutter speed at around 1/100, and this means that I had to crank the ISO to a higher number, and because of this, the image looks muddy, it looks fuzzy, and it looks very amateur. So in short, ISO is a brightness control for your camera, but the higher you set your ISO, the uglier your image is going to get. So the ISO is a balancing act. So in order to capture a really clean image, you want to make sure that your ISO is as low as possible. So add extra light into your scene if possible, pull down your aperture, pull down your shutter speed, and keep your ISO as close to 100 as is physically possible. If this video helped you at all, or if you found this useful, then please do let me know in that comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe, check out the previous video, and I will see you tomorrow for another brand new video. Thank you for watching.